Hey everybody, HomeSliceHenry here, and in today's video, we are taking a look at some incredible battles in the Ultra League featuring Focused Blast Bisharp. Bisharp is a Dark and Steel type Pokemon with the moveset of Snarl, Dark Pulse, and Focus Blast. Bisharp's recommended moveset uses Iron Head over Focus Blast, so I'm hoping to catch my opponents by surprise. I did end up using two teams with Bisharp. The first team didn't do as well as I'd hoped, but the second team ended up working out really well. So without further ado, let's hop into the matches and check out Focus Blast Bisharp in the Ultra League. Hopping to the first match, picking up a pretty neutrally Defense Deoxys into Shadow Nidoqueen. I do have the ability to hit them for big super effective damage with Psycho Boost, but throwing a Psycho Boost does lower my attack by 2 stages, and I don't want to debuff myself just yet. So I tank the Earth Power, and then I'm actually going to bait with the Rock Slide. Rock Slide does grab the shield, that is massive, and now I'm going to go for the Psycho Boost. This is going to do massive super effective damage or grab the final shield. The opponent actually commits the second shield, and you know what? I am going to save switch into Bisharp. Bisharp has a 2-0 shield advantage. They go for the Poison Fang, and they are staying in. And this gives me hope that whatever they have is going to be weak in the back. We are going for the Dark Pulse. Dark Pulse does big damage. They are farming up quite a lot of energy, and I will respect a potential Earth Power. They go for a Poison Fang. In comes WALREIN, and WALREIN is not prepared. Bisharp going for the Focus Blast. Hello, WALREIN. Goodbye, WALREIN. Taking him out. Opponent sees the writing on the wall and concedes the match. Hopping to the next match, leading Defense Deoxys into Talonflame. This is a very nice lead. Opponent is going to save switch into Umbreon. I'm going to throw 6 counters, switch, and catch the foul play from Umbreon onto Bisharp. That way I have energy on Defense Deoxys for later in the match, and this is a very nice matchup for Bisharp. We're able to get the Snarl through as well, so we are in a really good spot. They go for the foul play. That is totally fine. Now we are going for the Focus Blast. Umbreon, one of the tankiest Pokemon in the Ultra League, almost gets one-shot by the Focus Blast, and from here, we should just be able to snarl down. They go for the foul play. That is totally fine. We're able to snarl down, bring back in that Talonflame. Back in comes Talonflame. Bisharp is not done, going for the Dark Pulse. That does big damage, and the opponent concedes the match. Hopping to the next match, we've now switched out Shift Tree for Giratina. Picking up a very nicely Defense Deoxys into WALREIN. Opponent save switches into a Dragon Breath Giratina, and you know it is Bisharp time. Bisharp absolutely walls Giratina. Every move they throw is going to be resisted, whereas we are going to be able to hit for massive super effective damage. Able to get a Snarl through, they go for another Dragon Claw. We're going to farm up to 100 energy and then go for the Dark Pulse. Dark Pulse is going to be doing massive damage onto the Giratina. They're getting close to another move, so I do decide to throw another Dark Pulse. This will either take them out or grab the shield. They do decide to shield, so they are wanting to grab a shield from me. I'm totally fine with that, because after this, I'm just going to snarl down. We're able to snarl down, bring back in the WALREIN. Do you think he knows? I don't think he knows about the Focus Blast. Bisharp, able to land the Focus Blast, does massive damage, and the opponent's final Pokemon is Greedent. I am going to bank a move on Bisharp and then bring back in Defense Deoxys. This Greedent is absolutely loaded, but that's where the bulk of Defense Deoxys is incredibly handy. All I have to do at this point is just get the shield from Greedent, and then I should be able to finish the game with the loaded charge move from Bisharp. Going for the Rock Slide. Rock Slide does a solid chunk of damage, but it's the counters that are really starting to add up. Here, I decide to call a Body Slam. Ends up just being the Body Slam, and we're going to be able to reach the Rock Slide. Please give me the shield. I want to finish the game with Bisharp. They shield. Back in comes Bisharp, going for the Dark Pulse. That is going to be taken care of the Greedent. Back in comes WALREIN. Down goes WALREIN, and that is a good game. Hopping to the next match, leading Defense Deoxys into Shadow WALREIN. Very nice lead. Opponent save switches into Talonflame, and this is fantastic. I am going to farm up, go for the Rock Slide just before they reach a move. This should be grabbing a shield, and then I'm going to bring in Giratina. Since Talonflame has a pretty sizable energy lead, I will need to commit a shield in this matchup, but since I was able to grab shield advantage, that honestly doesn't become an issue. I am going for the Dragon Claw, even despite the debuff from Brave Bird, not enough to KO, but from here I can very safely commit the shield and farm down. Therefore, I will have some energy, so when WALREIN comes back in to farm me down, I will be able to get off quite a few charge moves. Back in comes Shadow WALREIN, but Giratina has almost 2 Dragon Claws loaded, going for the first, and we're going for Dragon Claw number 2. WALREIN is incredibly tanky, but being able to spam out these Dragon Claws, getting that damage over time, we are able to do a lot of work against this WALREIN. Going for Dragon Claw number 3, and we're actually able to grab a shield as they farm down. I bring in Defense Deoxys, and they're going for a move. I tank whatever they throw here. I'm not worried about it whatsoever. They just go for the Icicle Spear. It is Giratina in the back, and we're going to bring in Bisharp. We are going straight for the Dark Pulse, and this game is over. Land in the Dark Pulse, and the opponent concedes the match. Hopping to the next match, leading Defense Deoxys into Trevenant, the absolute nightmare lead. I'm going to instantly save switch into Giratina, and the Trevenant is staying in. This is honestly pretty nice for me. I am going to go for the Shadow Sneak. This does not take them out, but will do quite a lot of damage. And this could be a Shadow Ball, so I will commit the shield, and it is. So we're down shields, which is not great. And then my opponent brings in Galarian Stunfisk. This is not a great matchup for Giratina when I'm down a shield, but I'm going to do my best, spam out these Shadow Sneaks to do as much damage as possible. They're just going to be going straight Earthquake in this matchup, as that is the more efficient route. Although from here, I should still be able to survive a Rock Slide. Believe this is just a Rock Slide here, so we should be able to barely tank it, and we're going to be able to get off the Shadow Sneak. Was hoping they would overfarm more so I could reach a second, but unfortunately no such luck. Very nice timing there, and now I bring back in Defense Deoxys, and I am going for a very aggressive farm down. The goal here is merely just to get an energy lead, because with an energy lead, I should be able to take out that Trevenant. I'm expecting the Trevenant to come back in, and I'm going straight for the Psycho Boost, and this should just about be taking out the Trevenant if it lands. Going for the Psycho Boost, it gets them very low, and they have Talonflame in the back. I'm forced to switch because I was debuffed, and I am going for the Dark Pulse. They don't have to shield this, and they won't. They're going for the Flame Charge here, and I am going to let this through. From here, I just need to be able to get to 3 charge moves on Defense Deoxys, and we do have quite a lot of energy. I am going for the first Rock Slide. I don't want to debuff myself just yet, and I'm just going to keep farming up. From here, I actually end up making a mistake. What I should do in this situation is go for double Psycho Boost, but as you see, I decide to go for the Rock Slide. I didn't want to debuff myself, but that ends up being a crucial mistake as I lose CMP. We almost come back from a hard counter, but a mistake there in the end game. We're not quite able to get the win. Hopping to the next match, leading Defense Deoxys into Alolan Muck. This is not a great lead for me, but since my Giratina doesn't like to see Alolan Muck either, I do need to stay in. Thankfully, the counters and Rock Slide are still hitting for neutral, and they do quite a bit of damage as well. Unfortunately, Alolan Muck is going to be firing back with the Dark Pulse. We do tank a Dark Pulse, but it does a ton of damage in retaliation. I will be able to outpace since they are running Poison Jab, getting to Rock Slide number 2. This will be getting them low, so they commit the shield. I'm thinking they might be trying to farm down. I go for the Psycho Boost, but my opponent reads me like a book, and they make a fantastic catch of the Psycho Boost onto Mandibuzz. However, this Mandibuzz is about to learn the meaning of pain, and its name is Bisharp. Bisharp resists all of Mandibuzz's charge moves. They go for the Dark Pulse. We tank that no problem. And now we're going for the neutral Focus Blast. Mandibuzz is a very tanky Pokemon, but that Focus Blast still hits incredibly hard. I tank this move no problem, and then I should be able to overfarm by 1 here. So I am going to farm 1 past the Focus Blast, and then fire off Focus Blast number 2. This is more than enough to take them out if they let it through, which they do. Back in comes Alolan Muck. We switch back into Defense Deoxys, and we're able to catch the charge move. They went for the Dark Pulse, and Defense Deoxys goes down. I am fully going to wait my switch clock, and then in comes Giratina. Unfortunately, Alolan Muck is absolutely loaded. I will commit the shield. It is the Dark Pulse. Thankfully, they did not Acid Spray Baby. I'm expecting a catch. They do bring in the final Pokemon, and it's a Dragon Breath Giratina. Shadow Claw typically does worse in the mirror, but with this energy lead, I should be in a pretty good spot here. I will commit the shield just because I am more worried about the Giratina getting to a move than the Alolan Muck, as the Alolan Muck did just throw energy not too long ago. We are able to land that, which is fantastic. I'm going to overfarm, and now we're going for the Dragon Claw. This will be taking them out if they decide not to shield. They let it through. They are putting all their faith into Alolan Muck. I am able to reach a Dragon Claw. This will be getting the shield, and now I have to try and catch. Farming up, decide to switch. They don't throw. They go for the farm down, but Bisharp is able to reach the Dark Pulse. Even though it's resisted, this is more than enough to take out the Alolan Muck, overcoming the bad lead, and that's a good game. Hopping to the next match, we need Defense Deoxys into Machamp, a dominating lead. Opponent is going to safe switch into WALREIN, so this opponent is core broken by Defense Deoxys. This is an absolute dream come true here. I'm just going to stay in with the Defense Deoxys because I have Giratina in the back, which will absolutely wall that Machamp. So I'm going to stay in. They can go for Icicle Spear after Icicle Spear, and honestly, Defense Deoxys is not phased at all. Going for Icicle Spear number 2, that's totally fine. You know what? You can even go for a third. I tank it. I'm going to be able to counter down and leave with a ton of energy. We will have to see what the opponent has in the back. They are not bringing in their Machamp. They are waiting out the switch clock, and it is Trevenant. That makes quite a bit of sense. So they do have one Defense Deoxys counter, but unfortunately it was in the back, so they were double weak to a Defense Deoxys on the lead. I'm going for Psycho Boost number 2. That does get them fairly low, and now it is Bisharp time. Bisharp absolutely walls Trevenant. I'm expecting them to try and combo play with Machamp here, so I don't throw a fast move. I wait for the switch, so that way I don't get caught in the middle of a snarl, because taking 2 counters there would do a massive amount of Bisharp's health. And from here, this game should be over. Even if they have payback, it's not going to one-shot. I let it through. It's just a rock slide. So this game is very, very over. They are staying in and putting up a valiant effort. But unfortunately for them, Giratina is just going to be able to outpace Machamp here. We're just going to be able to start launching these Dragon Claws. They are desperately trying to shield the Machamp because they know they need it to take out the Bisharp. Going for Dragon Claw number 2. We're able to grab the shield. In comes Trevenant, and I'm going to bring back in Bisharp. From here, I have a new goal. If I can farm down, then we'll be able to Focus Blast the Machamp. Come on, Bisharp, get there! It's a simultaneous KO. So close. I really wanted to Focus Blast the Machamp. Either way, we get the win. Hopping to the next match, so need Defense Deoxys into the Mirror. Anytime I encounter a counter user on the lead, I do need to stay in because I absolutely cannot have it lined up against Bisharp because Bisharp gets absolutely melted by any fighting move. So I am going to stay in, try and play it out, and hope that once the counter user is out of the way, Bisharp is going to have a lot of play in the endgame. So I'm just going to stay in here and trade Rock Slides. This is a fairly long mirror, but the goal is, hopefully, if they try and go for a Psycho Boost in the end, I will be able to catch a Psycho Boost onto Bisharp, and then I should be in a pretty decent spot here. I try and go for a move, and it's a CMP tie. So now I know we are synced up, so I'm going to count to 5 and then catch the Psycho Boost onto Bisharp. Psycho Boost is going to debuff them, so from there I should be in a pretty good spot. Counting, switching, it's a simultaneous swap Bisharp into Scrafty, and I immediately top left. And hopping into the final match, leading Defense Deoxys into WALREIN, and the opponent's going to save switch into Gengar. I'm going for the Psycho Boost to grab a shield advantage, and then it is Bisharp time. I am worried about a potential Focus Blast, so I will commit the shield, but I get baited with a Shadow Punch. That is not great. I believe they're 1 short here, so I'm actually going to call this. It is just the Shadow Punch, which is very nice, and I am going to be firing back with the Dark Pulse. Dark Pulse, more than enough to take them out. Back in comes Shadow WALREIN. I should be able to outpace here. They reach a move, but this is only an Icicle Spear. I do tank this. And then, one last time, can we land the Focus Blast? Bisharp charging up, one-shotting the Shadow WALREIN. They have Giratina in the back, and this game is already over. I'm going to bring in the Defense Deoxys to tank a charge move and to get off a Psycho Boost. And then my Giratina should be able to take out theirs. We tank the Shadow Sneak. We are going for the Psycho Boost. This will do a nice amount of chunk damage. And then in comes my own Giratina. And at this point, we are in a very comfortable position to close out the match. Thanks to Bisharp absolutely annihilating that WALREIN. They're at the back-to-back. I tank this no problem. Not worried about it whatsoever. I am going to farm up until just before the back-to-back here. They are still outside of Dragon Claw range, but the second Dragon Claw is going to get them very, very close. And I believe they're going to have to throw a charge move on me. They can't farm me down. They do throw a charge move. At this point, you know what? I'm going to shield it up. The Shadow Claw went through. We're able to take them out, and that is a good game. All in all, I had an absolute blast running Bisharp. No pun intended, by the way. In all seriousness, it was a ton of fun. I'll be honest, day one, I did not have very good sets with it, but I'm very glad that I stuck it out, decided to change the team, and tried again with a different team on day two, because Bisharp is a ton of fun. It is very, very glassy, and if you get matched up against a fighting type, you will get absolutely shredded. But with its unique typing and very nice, that dark fighting coverage is incredibly useful. You're really able to punish the WALREIN Trevenant core, and if you're able to land a Focus Blast, you can do some absolutely obscene amounts of damage. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you're enjoying the content, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And a special thank you, as always, to our members here on YouTube. The support you guys provide is absolutely incredible. So thank you guys oh so very much. And until next time, I've been HomeSliceHenry.